Now, just to confirm my correction to Steve Conroy before the break, far from running away from a debate, Angus Taylor, the Coalition's Treasury spokesman, is in fact debating Treasurer Jim Chalmers right here on Sky, 7:30 Tuesday, right in the middle of my show. Anyway, tune in then. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has caused the biggest stock market crash seen since the COVID pandemic here and around the world, by last week hitting almost every country with tariffs except Russia. But the US president overnight suggested many countries now want to make a deal to end this.
We take their millions of cars. They take no cars. They don't take our farm product. They don't take anything. Europe's treated us very badly. We put a big tariff on Europe. They are coming to the table. They want to talk. But there's no talk unless they pay us a lot of money on a yearly basis. Number one for present, but also for past, because they've taken a lot of our wealth away, and we're not going to allow it to happen.
Joining me is the country's top foreign affairs writer, Greg Sheridan of The Australian. Greg, the world has gone mad. We need your spotlight on these things. It's incredible. A lot of Trump supporters, Greg, as you well know, cannot believe Trump would make a mistake and abuse people like me for pointing out when the occasions that he does. They claim there's a plan here, as in many of his other mistakes, that most ordinary mortals cannot see. What is that plan?
Well, Andrew, I mean, like you, I praise Trump when he does something good. I criticise him when he does something bad. And sometimes you get abuse from both Trump supporters and Trump opponents for the same column. But it's very hard to see any redeeming features here. Insofar as he has a plan, it is that he's going to raise a lot of revenue out of this, which will finance his tax cut, and he will cause other countries to drop their trade barriers to the United States, and he'll also incentivise international business to come and set up factories in America. But the staggering quantity of the stock market losses which have followed his decisions, and also the preposterous levels of some of the tariffs that he's imposed, the disruption cost. So Trump is a disruptor, and he likes to be at the centre of a high drama negotiation. But he seems to give no weight at all to the cost of this disruption. And now even people who are absolute dyed-in-the-wool Trump supporters like Elon Musk are saying, no, this is too damaging. And I mean, every economist who doesn't work for Trump is saying this is going to raise prices and probably produce a recession in the United States. Well, that's not what working class voters wanted from Trump. He could have taken action against China, and he could have taken more precise action against the European Union and had a lot of support. Instead, he's taken action against everybody, and it's chaotic.
And it's going to cost America friends, which I think is going to be a pain for America in the future. Now, Greg, I wonder if we're already seeing a real problem emerging here with so many that you see with so many strongman leaders who glory in their power. They attract toadies who just tell them they're fantastic. And the latest example in Trump's court is Brendan Carr, who's his chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, who now wears on his lapel a Trump pin that features the golden head of President Donald Trump. Now, Trump last week also fired the general heading his National Security Agency and 5 other top security officials after a meeting with a conspiracy blogger from the far right, Laura Loomer, who told them they weren't loyal to him. And she later boasted, "I'm stopping these traitors before they can strike." What is all this telling you?
Well, this is very disturbing. So Trump at his best does good things that no one else would do, but Trump at his worst does bad things that no one else would do. Laura Loomer is a preposterous person to be influencing the American president. Trump had to kick her off his plane during the campaign because her mere presence there was so embarrassing. Some of the things she said, some of the conspiracies she's believed in. Now, Trump and his national security advisor have hired people who have been lifelong Republicans and worked for the national security advisor, Mike Waltz, when he was a congressman, to work in the National Security Council. And she comes along and says, you know, they're lizard Illuminati sent from Mars or something. Obviously, she didn't say that, but she says they're wicked communists or something. And Trump fires them all. Trump has hired a lot of really loopy people. And sacking all these generals simply because they weren't sort of Trump acolytes. I mean, that senior official wearing a badge of Trump's head like that, that's what you see in North Korea. But, you know, the one final thought I'd leave you with on that, though, Andrew, is our campaign here in Australia, although it's not disfigured by big figures, is as utterly wretched and banal and free of substance and refuses to confront any serious issue or any of the multiple crises we're facing as the American campaign does. So you can have crackers politics with strong men, or you can have crackers politics with weak men.
I just want to follow that up, Greg. You're absolutely correct. This has been such a policy-light effort. And from the Labor point of view, I mean, they've been telling outright lies like, oh, you know, supermarkets are gouging, that's why your prices go up. No, 8 inquiries found no gouging. It's because of inflation, thanks to the government in part. Peter Dutton is going to destroy Medicare. No, he's actually spending more, promising to spend more than Labor. I mean, it's like a fantasy world we're debating.
You're absolutely right, Andrew. But and I agree with exactly what you said there about the Albanese government. But the Dutton opposition has been just as bad. I mean, they've discovered now that they want to take back the lease that the Port of Darwin is held by a Chinese-owned company. Well, they were in government from 2015 when the lease was given to this Chinese company until 2022, and they didn't do a damn thing about it. And David Littleproud at the weekend was saying, well, you've got to follow advice. What advice is he talking about? There is no advice. It's just become politically necessary now to do the right thing. You know, Dutton's policy on work from home was a good policy, but if you're not brave enough, if a good policy is going to get some opposition and you're not brave enough, well, then don't announce it from the start and then run away from it. It's like Peter Costello said of Mark Latham, he couldn't hold a policy from late line to lunchtime. And my final question is, where's their defence policy? Why did they let Littleproud do a train wreck of an interview like that instead of Andrew Hastie? And when are they going to announce their defence policy? If it's a big policy, they've got to explain it. If it's a weak policy, they've got to explain that. But what are they going to do? Like allowing you to use super for your home at the last election, announce it one day before the poll and hope that no one notices? I can't follow either side of politics.
It should be the whole campaign, security at home, security abroad. I mean, in a really scary, you know, a very different world when we're on our own. It should be the leitmotifs of this campaign. Greg Sheridan, thank you so much for your time.